Hi there. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to paint an image using the LazyBrush plugin for TV Paint. Once I cover the basics, I'll move on to an actual animation and show you how to paint a sequence using LazyBrush. Let's start by painting a single image. The drawing we'd like to paint is on the first layer called Untitled 1. The first step in any use of LazyBrush is to create two new layers, one for the scribbles and a second for the colors. As you can see, we have two options: to create a clean scribbles layer and to create a layers with a default background scribble around the perimeter of the image. I will go over the difference in this tutorial. We start by clicking the Create Layer Without Background button, which will create and name these layers for us. Next, we're going to draw the scribbles. But first, we need to switch to the Scribble drawing tool. In order to do that, just click the Set Foreground Scribble button. Now I can draw a scribble over the area that I want to paint. Keep in mind that the scribbles must be painted on the scribbles layer. LazyBrush will always select this layer for you when you switch to the Scribble tool. To see the final color result, let's click on Paint. You can see the whole image was painted with two colors. This is normal, and it is because we drew two scribbles with two different colors. LazyBrush will paint the entire image using the scribbles you make. We want the background of the drawing to be transparent, so let's continue by adding scribbles to mark the transparent areas. We click on the Set Background Scribble button and paint the scribbles around the drawing. Again, we'll click on Paint to see the result. So we now have a red square and a yellow square, and because the transparent scribble we painted is relatively big, it took over the rest of the squares as well. This is how LazyBrush works. So let's continue adding scribbles to color other areas. You can see that LazyBrush will sometimes fill shapes that we didn't intend to paint. This is also normal, and we can fix it by adding more foreground or background scribbles. We can paint background scribbles anywhere we want to create transparent areas. We're done painting the image, so let's take a look at the different layers we've got. We have a layer for the outlines, all the scribbles on the second layer, and all the colors on the last layer. Sometimes we want to separate a specific color from the color layer, or create a different layer for each color, and we can do both. Click the Separate All Colors button, and LazyBrush will create a new layer for each color from the color layer. The original color layer is still there, and you can see a new layer for each color. I'm now deleting the new color layers to show you another option for color separation. In case you only want to separate a specific color from the color layer, click the Separate One Color button and pick the color you want to isolate. The color you picked will move to a new layer and gets removed from the original one. Let's go back to the Create Layers with Background button. This will create scribbles layer with a hidden background scribble around the perimeter of the image, and will save time when painting a character that doesn't touch the edge of the frame. You can see that the background around the drawing is left transparent without actually drawing a background scribble there. Of course, we can still paint additional background scribbles if needed. We can delete the scribble layer or save it for future changes. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for listening and have fun using LazyBrush.